Hey guys, it's PMHK here obviously, and today I managed to get the Huawei P30 Pro in the studios, and we're going to be taking a look at this amazing device that it is. Now you probably saw the title and you clicked because you like things, but we're going to address what's going on with Google and Huawei after we actually take a look of the device itself, because it would be a shame to just trash the device before I actually talk to you guys or show you guys some of the feature that this guy actually has that it makes it a really amazing device. Now I've spoken about this device before when I went to Sandton to go check an event that Huawei was hosting there, which actually even Rick was at the event and he performed. But I made a video on that. If you want to watch that video before you watch this one, I'm going to link it obviously down in the description, or I'm going to put an iCard here. I know in the last video I got wrong with the place of the iCard, but I think it's going to be here. So click on this iCard here so you can actually see the previous video regarding this device. Now I'm going to put my computer on the side. We're going to speak about what's going on with Huawei and Android, or Huawei and Google, or Huawei and Alphabet, which is Google's actually division that controls Android. We're going to speak about that later. Now let's just focus on this device for now. Now this is the Huawei P30 Pro. This is the Pro line of this flagship device. Now the Huawei also has the Huawei P30 Lite, which costs almost half the price of this guy. And we also have the box here. You should actually be expecting a USB-C charging cable. You should also be expecting a charging brick inside the box. You would also be expecting a USB-C headphone and a case. Huawei normally includes a see-through case inside the boxes for you guys to protect your phone, which is actually something that most companies should have done in the first place. Now this is the silicone case, plastic silicone case, because this guy, as you can see, it actually takes a lot of fingerprint. It's prone to fingerprint, and you really have to try and protect your device as much as possible. So I'm going to put the case itself, and this is what you actually should be expecting in the case itself. Now let's put these guys on the side. Now as you can see, this is one of the versions of this phone. So this guy here comes in 3 colors. It comes with this color, which is the Aurora. It comes with the black, and you have also the breathing crystal. At the back you have this quad Leica camera arrangement. You have the first camera, which is the 40 megapixel 1.8 wide angle camera. You have the second one, which is the 20 megapixel 2.2 ultra wide angle camera, which should give you guys those wide shots. We're gonna test this camera just now for me to show you how wide it gets. And you have the telephoto camera here, which is a 3.4 megapixel, which is an 8 megapixel 3.4 aperture camera, which gives you that capability of 50 times zoom, which I actually showed on the previous video. If you missed that video, as I said, go down to the description and you'll find the link there. And the fourth camera is the time of flight camera, which will have the AI capability of this camera. It has also the autofocus capability and so forth. Also you have the flash right here. Now this guy has a 6.5 inch screen. It's an OLED full HD screen, which should be actually quite bright, and the quality also is really something else, as I can already tell just from looking at the screen. And in front you also have a camera. This is a 32 megapixel. Pixel count in the cameras of this phone are really high. They really something else. But then again, as I always mentioned, or as I have mentioned on my previous video, that you shouldn't just take that into account. You should actually go into the phone and check the quality of the actual pictures that the phone take. Like if I had to make a comparison, the iPhone XS Max, which I actually made a video about that as well, has a 12 megapixel camera, but if you see the quality on that camera, it's going to blow your mind. But anyways, so this guy here also comes with an in-display fingerprint sensor. Now let me see if I can actually set that guy up. Let's add a fingerprint here on the in-display fingerprint sensor and see how this guy is or how fast it reads the fingerprint. So let's go and try once, and there we go. So it seems like it's really quite responsive. Okay, it's getting that in this place. All right. It actually directs you on which side of the finger it wants you to put it specific to that. Unlike on the iPhone or on the iPhones that has Touch ID, this one will actually show you in which direction or in which side of your finger they require you to touch. Okay, so we are almost there, showing me that I need to put in this side and this side, and now I'm gonna go back and on this side. This should be it. Okay, one more to go and another one to go. I don't know why it's asking me to repeat. And now this side and one last one, and that's it. And you press OK, and I'm guessing that's about it. So now let's actually test it out. So it actually prompts you, it gives you a little prompt down there for you guys to unlock the phone. So let's try that, and it's really pretty fast, eh? I was actually expecting it to be a little bit slower. Let's just try that one more time, and that's it. You don't really have to apply any pressure at all. You just put the finger and it unlocks. It's pretty fast. I'm actually really satisfied. So we are currently inside the YouTube application just to test that screen quality. Now let's go to actually one of my videos.
Hey guys, this is PMHK here, obviously.
And that's me.
As most of you guys
So wow, this is actually has a really good quality. Let's see if it's on the highest. It's actually not on the highest. Let's put it at 1080p. Now let's see if I can put the sound down. Now this guy comes with all the buttons on the right hand side. You can see the volume rockers here. You can put the volume down just using dial 1, and the power button is actually right below that with a little red tag on the button. So this guy also comes with Dolby Atmos sound, and the speaker is right under here, so if I put my finger there, it's kind of going to close the volume. But in terms of a quality, I actually think it has good quality. It just went out, I don't know why, maybe it just crashed. Okay, so now on the camera you have a couple of modes. You have, first of all, you have the aperture mode. This is the aperture priority mode. You have the night mode, you have a portrait mode. You're going to be getting a photo mode, video mode, the pro mode where you can play around with the camera settings, and then you have more where you will change the actual setting. Now I have my lovely fire extinguisher here, which I used to use on my old setup, and we're going to use this guy to take a normal photo just for us to test this camera. Now there we go. Now let's check the pic. Now this is, I actually like the quality of the picture. It actually takes amazing picture, eh? Now let's try the selfie camera. Now let's rotate that, and it actually looks pretty clear. And there goes my dirty hair. I actually need to go and wash it. So now let's take a selfie, maybe. And now it asks me if I want mirror on or mirror off. Let's put mirror on. Now the picture actually looks pretty good. I also like how the selfie is. Now this phone really has amazing cameras. Now one other feature of this phone that is actually going to make you either buy it or not is the battery capacity. Now this guy has a 4200 milliamp battery. I know the iPhones and the other camera and the other phones are around 2000, 3000. Now the battery of this guy will take you the whole day, and it can still take you maybe half of the next day, which is actually pretty amazing for a phone, a battery. Now, as much as this phone is really amazing, I must agree, as an Android device, the front camera, the back camera, even the in-display fingerprint is really good. I actually love how fast it is. I really didn't think I was going to like it at all. But putting that aside, there's been a bit of a problem the past week or during the weekend. I'm not really mistaken when this happened. So as I'm reading on this article here, which I'm going to try and link down under the description, this is an article from Business Insider. So the article reads as follows: Huawei is being blocked out of Android. Here's what that means for South Africa. Now, during the weekend, there's been backlashes between Huawei and the American government. So Google, Alphabet ended up blocking Huawei devices from future updates and anything to do with Android services. So the article itself reads as, this article has been updated with statement by Huawei below. So the article here is for Google's parent company Alphabet Inc. has suspended its business relationship with Chinese smartphone manufacturer Huawei, halting all transfers of hardware and software between the two companies, including partnership on an Android smartphone. Now this simply means that in future devices or even the current devices, if this halt is not removed, all the Huawei devices that are outside of China won't be getting any update in terms of their Android operating system. Now remember that Android also has an open source, or Android is an open source operating system, but also some of the services that are inside of the Android, like your Google Play, your YouTube, your Chrome browsing, and some other security services also, those bound to licensing agreements between Google and the companies that are using the Android services. Now the article goes on and says that Android is an open source available for anyone to use, but critical services, as I mentioned, such as Google Play that runs on Android, are Google proprietary, Google properties, and require legal relationship that is now on hold. So they've put that on hold, and they go on and say that Huawei is not entirely unprepared for what has happened. They've actually been working on their own operating system and so forth. But this simply means that if this halt is not removed, most of these current Huawei devices are really going to be affected, because I mean, outside of China, we are basically using all of Google devices, all of Google services on these Android devices, such as the Google Play and even Chrome browser and so forth. So now if they stop updating, which means you're going to be stuck with a device that's not getting updates anymore. Now I would suggest that if you're really thinking on buying a Huawei device, you put a hold on that and see how this story ends, because I'm really not sure, or I don't think this is something that will be permanent. I really hope it's not something that's going to be permanent. It's just something that they have to agree on whatever caused the problem in the first place, Trump, and see how they can move forward from this. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to try and link the article down in the description so you guys can actually go and read for yourselves and see exactly what's going on. Now, this is a really good device, as I mentioned. It would actually be a shame to see this device not getting updates anymore and see services like Google Now, the Play Store, which most of the applications where that this device has, that's where we go to download or buy them. It will actually be a shame to see that those things are not going to be functional anymore, and Huawei would actually have to come up with their own replacement to these product or services that actually are properties of Google, unlike the Android, which is an open source operating system. Let me know what you guys think of what's going on. Let me know what you guys think of the actual device, regardless of what might actually be going on with Huawei and Google or an Android. And as I mentioned, if you're thinking of buying this device, my honest opinion would be put a hold on it and see how this story plays out. Hopefully it's going to be a happy ending for everybody. Otherwise, put a hold on it. Now this is going to be it for this video. If you like this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go and you subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Peace.